Edward Scales called and examined. Mr. Caird, have you long been a fisherman here? It is 20 or 30 years since I first began. Do you practice all the kinds of fishing practiced on this coast? Yes, cod fishing and line fishing. Long line fishing of all kinds. Yes, and soling and herring fishing. Do you find in your experience that the quantity of fish you can bring ashore now has fallen off as compared with what it was 20 years ago? Yes, it has fallen off 3 parts. You can only bring in 1 part out of 4 ashore now as compared with what you used to bring? No. Has the quality and size of the fish diminished as well as the quantity? I see no difference in that. Has any particular kind fallen off more than another? Yes, all kinds have fallen off. The haddock, the cod, ling, halibut, and all kinds. What do you think is the cause of that? Nothing but the trawling. When did you particularly begin to notice the falling off? We found it out as soon as ever the trawlers began to come. Has it been diminishing gradually? Yes, ever since they came. Have they been increasing in number? Yes. Have they come in close to your shore? Yes. Have they done that for some time? Yes, there are 18 or 19 of them going up every day. Do they trawl on the ground in which you used to fish? Yes, and upon the ground that we fish upon now. Do you catch fish now? Yes. Do you get plenty of fish? No, about 6 or 7 stone. Some odd times we may get 20 stone, where we used to get 70 or 80. How many years is it since the trawlers began to come here? About 20 years, and since then they have increased more and more. They have been getting a nice catch of fish, and they have kept increasing the number until they have cleared the ground very nearly. Do they still get a nice catch of fish? I should say they can hardly make a living out of it now. Have you ever seen them bring up the trawl? No. Then you cannot speak as to whether the fish are damaged by the trawl or not? No, but I have seen some that had been taken to Scarborough that had been all torn to pieces and had had all the scales pulled off. How long is that since? Only last week. Had the trawler been at sea some time? No. Had it just come in? Yes, it went off last night and brought the fish in the morning. Was a great proportion of the fish damaged? Yes, there were more damaged fish than good fish. Out of the one boat? Yes. Did you see every kind of fish that came out of the trawl boat? I saw the soles. I believe there were no brat. Did you see all of them? Not all. I saw what they brought to sell. Did you see all they had on board the boat at that time? I saw all that came on the pier to be sold. How many baskets were there that were no good? About 2 baskets. What was done with them? They were sold for what they would fetch. They were not thrown overboard then? No, I cannot say how much was thrown overboard. But you do not know that as a fact? No, but the fishermen would tell us they'd thrown some overboard. With regard to the herring fishing, has there been as much decline as some of the witnesses have mentioned? Or has the herring fishery been as good as formerly? No, not half. Are there more boats than there used to be? Yes. And do they not bring as many fish ashore as the boats did when they were fewer in number? No, I think if they got the same that they got formerly, they would lose all their nets by them. Why? Because there was that quantity of fish on the ground formerly. What is the cause of the diminished quantity? I cannot tell unless it be the trawlers. Does anybody interfere with you at all in regulating your mode of fishing? No. Would you like to have somebody to come and tell you what you ought to fish and when you should shoot your nets? No. You think it better to take your own will upon the matter? Yes. Professor Huxley, what is the price of herring now compared with what it was 25 years ago? We sold the herring better then than now. I have been selling it for manure. Did you get a better price for it in that way? No, but there was such a quantity caught. How long is that ago? 20 years. There were no curing houses then. Are there curing houses here now? Yes. Is there a large quantity of herring cured? Yes. Do you get as much money by your herring fishing now as you did 20 years ago? No, I think not. Do you catch less whitefish also? Yes. And do you get less money for it on the whole? For soles better, but we do not get that quantity of fish. On the whole, you do not get so much money? No. Then the catch of herring has not made up to you for the loss of the whitefish? No, nothing of the sort. Were the soles that came out of the trawl much damaged? I did not take much notice of them. They looked good, all the soles that came out of the trawl. You spoke just now of damaged fish. I meant the whiting and little haddocks. Those are the things they destroy. They are a tender fish and they go bad in the net. The soles were pretty good? Yes, they are a hard fish. When you spoke of damaged fish, did you mean that they were bruised or that they were small fish? I meant they were bruised. There were good-sized haddocks all mashed, and there were whiting that would have fetched a good price if they had come up with a hook, bruised and all mashed. Are you a herring fisher? Yes. Did you ever get herring in January and February? In February, no. It is too late. We give over then. What are your fishing months here for herring? We start in the back part of July and we laid up last week. Then do you go on till October? Yes, the big boats do. Did you ever see an appearance of herring here in February? No. You never did see any? No. You heard me ask some questions just now about a law relating to lights and regulations of that kind. Had you ever heard of them? Yes, I have heard of them, but they were never set up. Do you know of the existence of any law about the size of your herring meshes? No. Did you ever hear of any regulation about decked and undecked boats? I cannot say that I ever did. Do the French interfere with you much? There have been a few on the coast here. There have been less this year than for many of years. Has that been the case during the last few years? There were a good few here, but very few before that. Do you agree with the last witness that when they come among you, they do you much damage? If you take your nets down, they will shoot over you and take no more notice of you than if you were not there. So therefore you must get out of the way. Your decked boats are pretty big boats, are they not? Yes. Are the French boats bigger than yours? They are nearly as big again. Therefore you cannot hold your own with them at all? No. Then if the Frenchman shoots over you and damages your nets, cannot you complain? Yes, if it is of any use. Why is it of no use? You cannot make anything of them. They are numbered, are they not? Yes, but the gunboat takes no notice of them. She is in the harbour instead of being out there. But if you complain to the commander, would it not do some good? Yes, he has gone sometimes and brought them in, but he is always in the harbour now, so he's keeping a good lookout. He has been in Scarborough now for a fortnight or 3 weeks. If the gunboat was wide awake and looked after them, would he afford adequate protection? I think so, but we never know when he is there. Would you be content if the French were outside of the 3-mile limit? Yes. Are most of the fish caught within the 3 mile limit? No. No. Most of them are caught 5, 7, and 8 miles from the shore. Then what would be the good of keeping them outside the 3 mile limit if most of the fish are caught 7 or 8 miles from the shore? They should not come where the thick of the boats are when there is a shoal of fish. They all cleave to it as thick as may be. One will see a great quantity of herring, and then all the rest will bring up there. They bring up as nigh as they dare to them. You know it is the law that a foreign vessel shall not shoot her nets within 3 miles of the English coast. Yes, but there is nobody there to hinder them. Suppose the gunboats were there to carry out the law, would that be of any use? Yes, if they kept the Frenchmen to their limits it would do good, but the gunboat never comes nigh hand to them. But if the fish were 7 miles off, then the Frenchman would be entitled to fish. If he could only be kept 3 miles off, he would be as nigh the fish as ever. Yes. Then there would be no great good in enforcing that regulation. No. When fishing, have you been interfered with by the trawlers? Yes. Have they come trawling across your drift nets? Yes. Are you aware that that is contrary to the law? Yes, they did till we found them out. Have they no numbers? Yes, but it is generally dark. 4 years since they came right down over our nets and took all the boys from them and destroyed them altogether. Could you not find them? No. Although we caught the boat, we were so busy that we could not stop her till she got too far off. Then you in your small boat were unable to catch her? Yes. We did not think of taking the trawler's number until it was too late. If we had had the number, we should have made him pay the damage, but we did not succeed in getting it. Do you think that any kind of police regulation would be of any good? Suppose the gunboat was among you, could she not keep the trawlers from going across your nets? Yes, I think so. Or if a man-of-war's boat rode guard all night, would that be of service to you? Yes. They all lie as nigh as they dare among one another. The trawlers should keep at the outside. When there is one among them, although you see a shoal of fish, you dare not lie among them. But the law says a trawl boat shall always keep at a distance of 3 miles from the herring boats. Did you ever hear of this? Trawl boats shall always keep at a distance of at least 3 miles from all boats fishing for herring or mackerel with drift nets. Yes. Do you think if that were enforced, you would have sufficient protection against the trawl boats doing you any damage? Yes. If the trawlers were obliged always to keep 3 miles from you, they would do you no injury? No. Have you ever been herring fishing in decked or undecked boats? Yes, in decked boats and in undecked boats also. When you were in an undecked boat, have you shot your nets near where the decked boats were fishing? Yes. Did you know that was against the law? No. Did you ever hear of this law? Whenever decked boats and undecked boats shall commence shooting their nets at the same time, the undecked boats shall shoot their nets to windward of the decked boats, except they should prefer going leeward to a distance of at least half a mile to shoot their nets. Have you ever heard of that law? No, we never heard of it. But that is the law. It is a very bad law then. That law won't do. Why do you think it is a bad law? Why, if you see any herring near you, you are not going to stand outside of them. Do you prefer the chance of taking the fish and running the risk of being fouled? We haul in when we have any fish in the nets, and when we can get none, we go and look for them. If we rouse a shoal of herring in the water, then of course we will have our nets among them if we can. That is always the case? Yes, it is of no use going to land without herring. But there is a law relating to decked boats as well. The Act of Parliament says the decked boats on their part shall shoot their nets to leeward of the undecked boats unless they prefer going to windward to a distance of at least half a mile to shoot their nets. So that you see, the law keeps the decked boats away from the undecked boats as well as the undecked boats away from the decked boats. Yes, it keeps them all at a distance. What do you think of the provision of the law? I do not think that it will do at all. It cannot be better than it is now. This law was made to prevent the chance of deck boats fouling undecked boats. Yes. Would you rather take your chance of being fouled in order that you may get what fish you can? Yes. Do you think the trawlers do you a great deal of harm? Yes, a great deal. What would you like to have done with the trawlers? Would you like to have them condemned? Yes, the whole lot of them. Would you not let them fish anywhere? No, only with a hook and line. At one place, a longline fisherman told us he would keep them 12 miles outside the Dogger Bank. Would that suit you? Yes, we do not often go there. We could not get our fishing from there. It is over far. Do you think the longline fishing and trawling can go on the same ground together? No. Why do you think they could not? Because I have experienced it. I have some long lines going yet, for aught I know, at the stern of a trawler. Why do you think the two processes cannot go on together on the same ground? They are so much stronger than we are, and when they get hold of our tackle, they take it all away together. Have you ever lost tackle of that kind in consequence of its being carried away by the trawlers? Yes. How long ago? 4 years. Is that the only occasion on which you have lost long lines? Yes, that is the only case. Were they all carried away together? Yes. Were they destroyed? I never saw any more of them. Is it possible for the trawlers to work over the long lines without carrying them away? They might do so an odd time, but I am sadly afraid when they go over mine that they will take them away altogether. It is not often that they go over them without injuring them. Is there any other reason why you get the trawlers down? Yes, because they destroy fish. When I go out fishing now, I can hardly get anything. You do not mean to say that they destroyed all the fish, because I believe they go on getting them themselves. They can hardly manage to make a living of it. In your experience of them, has the number of trawlers increased? I believe it has, but I think they are at the far end now. There is a good lot of them to sell. The witness withdrew.